Welcome to User and I, the channel where I explore all things UX and UI design. And today I want to introduce a new series that I think would be fun to explore. It's basically going to tackle a bit of UX theory with the idea of helping you get better at your designs and to have a better understanding about what you're doing when you're designing. So what are Gestalt Principles? They're basically a set of laws, guidelines, principles of human perception developed by German psychologists in 1920. And it's used across many different disciplines, and to be fair, we use it day to day. We just aren't aware of exactly what's going on when we are using it. So it basically describes how we group similar elements, how we recognize patterns, and how we simplify complex images or simplify images that appear complex to the human mind. And these can be seen across architecture, across design, even when you're reading books, in posters, everywhere. These set of laws and ideas, it affects the way we internalize information. So as a general rule of thumb, a few basics to the principles, it states that the mind will try to fill in missing detail, perceive things in the simplest forms, and naturally follow lines or curves. I've found 3 good examples of this that we can run through really quickly. So the first logo at the top actually doesn't have the second letter. However, because of the way the things are arranged, our mind does fill in the gap with the letter H. And I think that's a really good example of the mind attempted to fill in detail that's not there. We can also see this in a different logo like the FedEx logo. If you look carefully, you'll see an arrow between Fed and the word X as well. Moving on to the Audi logo just below it, yes, we see that this is an entire diagram because the rings are interlocking with each other. However, what the mind actually reads is 4 circles. And then lastly, with the Coca-Cola logo, even though the C is cutting through the L and the L is cutting through the C, we still do read it as cola. We still follow the line on the opposite side. And even when the O is interlocking with the L, we still do follow the line and realize that, okay, these are 2 separate letters. So building on from those basics of the principles, we have 8 to explore. Similarity, proximity, closure, connectedness, common fate, continuation, figure and ground, and common region. Now I thought the best way to explain this and the best way to explore this over the next few weeks, if you watch my previous videos, the channel is quite practical. We design things, I explain things, I show you why I do things, whether it's a landing page or a component. I thought we could explain each principle in another video, and I'll take you through a couple of examples of the principle itself in real world examples in maybe different disciplines like architecture or, I don't know, print design or web design, so we can see them in real life and start noticing them. And then we'll create maybe a small interface to explain ourselves so we can get into the driver's seat and think, okay, so in our next designs, how can we actually practically put this in place and communicate better to users? Because I guess UX design is all about communication and getting the user from one place to another in the smoothest form possible. So feel free to subscribe, and I will catch you on the first video next week.